Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome back once again to Consoletronix. This is your boy Gray, the Bret Hart of YouTube retro gaming. The best there was, the best there is, the best there ever will be. Now, before we begin, apologies are in order. Some of you may have noticed I've been AWOL the last few weeks. Sorry about that. Certain events behind the scenes popped up that demanded my attention, but don't worry, I've handled my business. There's going to be no more distractions. And I'm back and 100% focused on bringing you the best retro related gaming content on YouTube. And new videos are going to be coming soon. They're going to be coming quick. They're going to be coming fast like Ramadan. They're going to be coming fast like Usain Bolt with his arse on fire. But before that, I believe we have the small matter of some unanswered questions. So I've left some of you guys hanging a few weeks, especially my G, King Arthur. Well, don't worry, we're going to jump straight into his questions now. So let's see what he has to say. And he says, is that your real voice? Why is everybody going on about my voice all of a sudden? Because like the 15-year-old girl tied up in my basement said, I really don't know how to take that. But yes, it is my real voice. We don't fake it here at Consoletronix. I'm Evander Holyfield round here, the real deal. So thank you very much, King Arthur, for taking the time out to ask me those great questions, and let me just apologise again for taking so long to reply to them, but certain events behind the scenes were just beyond my control. So we're going to move swiftly along now, and we're going to see what Jade Wortman has to ask me. And they say, Games Room Collection Tour? As much as I would like to do a complete Games Room collection tour, it would be nigh on impossible because I've got so much stuff stored all over the place. I've got some stuff in the loft, I've got tons of stuff outside in the garage. But what would you say to a quick behind the scenes look at the Consoletronix Command Center? Now, before we begin, can I just say that my bedroom does not normally look this messy. I've been doing some testing around here recently because I got myself some of these things. Upscalers, RGB SCART to HDMI upscalers, and testing them out with my Elgato. So as you can see, it's a real mess down here. Don't mind them ratty, dirty old shoes, man. Let me get them out of the way. But yeah, I got my Saturn down there, Dreamcast, PS2, Wii, couple of Xboxes down there. Yeah, I've been testing them, seeing how I can record all these retro games and make the picture quality watchable. We've got some games over here. Let's have a quick look down here. Oh, got some Jaguar games down there. There's Aliens vs Predator. I believe I was talking about the retro systems I owned and I missed out on the final Atari machine. But yeah, we've got lots of stuff there. Look, there's the Art the Lad collection, whole bunch of Dreamcast, PC Engine games. We have loads of PSP games, underrated system. I love the PSP. Tons of stuff down here. We've got all kinds of manga. That's Appleseed. A lot of NES games. All you Nintendo fanboys. Let me see if I can dig some out. Famicom games. A whole bunch of them. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to these, but we can see a few of them. We can see, I know Ninja Turtles is down there somewhere. What's that? Kirby. There's Ninja Turtles. A couple of PS1 games. Game Boy Advance. What's that? Smash TV. PCFX games. Japanese manga magazines. What's that? Manual for Crisis Core. A whole bunch of stuff. This is just some of my movies, and yeah, none of you are going to recognize many of these titles, but there's some good stuff here, man. Check this out. That's a British film, Jack Falls. That's good. Blind Woman's Curse. I love that movie, Japanese movie. I Saw the Devil, one of the best movies I've ever seen. Korean movie. Breathless, another fantastic movie. All the Bloodsport films, anime, Kidulthood, Black Angel, Takeshi Ishii movie. Quite a few British films there, actually. I didn't realise so many. Yeah, lots and lots of stuff, but what you want to see is this, innit? PS2. Now this stack here is a combination of games I meant to play and games I meant to make videos on. Raging Blades, Chaos Legion, Yakuza, Party... Oh, I didn't want a Party Girls already, didn't I? Zombie Virus, I've done one on that. But yeah, God Hand and Killer 7 are probably two of the games I've most wanted to make videos on, but never got round to it. What else we got? We got my Femi Sapien, my beauty. We got Xbox 360 games. About 100 odd games there. No fantastic titles, but a good collection, a decent collection. Beside that, there's the PS3. Behind that is my Wii collection. I've actually softened my stance on the Wii, if I'm honest. It's not the worst machine in the world. A whole bunch of stuff down there. What's that? 3DS, DS, lots and lots and lots of crap. We got some Mega Drive, we got some VHS, and talking of VHS, you may have noticed this. I have just got this in today, so I knew a VCR. I had one and I broke it, so I thought I might as well get another. All this talk about my second channel, Video Holocaust, so I thought, you know what? I might have another crack at it. I might have another go at the whole film reviewing lark. I don't know what this is. What is it? Hitachi. I don't know if it's a high-end or low-end VCR, but I just need something that can actually play the bloody tapes. More PS1, more movies, some Xbox there, some Cynthia Roth rock, Last Battle, what else we got? Movies. Friggin' Garbage Pail Kids poster that was supposed to be in the background, as you can see it drop off. Loads and loads of wires. Like I say, I've been doing a lot of testing. That's pretty much it. And like I said, my room isn't normally this messy, but yeah, I've been testing all sorts of consoles, DVD recording. Oh my gosh, tons and tons of stuff going on. And I'm hoping that you will come to see the fruits of all my efforts in the coming weeks. Oh yeah, there's my Panasonic GameCube up there. Look at that, straddling the PCFX like a G up there. Look at that. We got lots of boxes and computers. And I've got no idea what the picture and sound quality of this thing's going to be like, so yeah, let's just keep it short and sweet, shall we? So thank you, Jade Wortman, for your questions, and hopefully in the near future I can get all my consoles, all my computers, my entire games collection together and shoot a games collection video or a room tour properly and show off everything in all its glory. But thanks once again for asking a question. And now we go on to some questions supplied to us by Majora T, a fantastic YouTuber, and if you don't know who this guy is, check him out, you will not be disappointed. But he goes on to say, "Flyest guy on the tube. Congrats, my man. Damn right I'm fly. I'm so fly I be fist bumping our Lord and Saviour, man. Question 1. Who is the most ballsy and heroic video game protagonist you can think of?" Quite a few characters actually spring to mind when I think about it, but the character I'm going to mention is in fact the star of a trilogy of 8-bit computer games, and that is Joe Blade. In the first game he was a one-man army, in the second game he went around drop-kicking tramps like Uncle Phil, and in the third he returned to do what he does best, and that's kill anything that moves on the battlefield. But the reason why I'm going to bring this character up is because he holds the distinction of being the star of the very first game to be banned in Germany. And if you know your video game history, you'll know that Germany likes to ban games. Well, they banned Joe Blade because they considered him and his games to be not only too violent, but for promoting warfare. And when you consider we're talking about a trilogy of Commodore 64 games here, well, they don't get more ballsy or gangster than that. Question 2. What theme song would you pick to roll out to once you reach the 1,000 subscriber milestone? Unbelievable by EDF, or It's Been a Long Time Coming by I forget who? The Alleys? Question 3. Spaceship shooters versus RPGs. Discus. Discus? Alright then. Only joking. But it's funny you should mention those two specific genres because I have big plans in the works for both, and I suppose I might as well just come out and announce it now. But I will be doing a series of videos in which I go and look at the complete history of shoot 'em ups. And when I say complete history, I do mean complete, because I'm going to be going back and starting at the very first video game of all time, Computer Space, up to Space Invaders, up to Asteroids, and then I'm going to be looking at some of the best shooters that hit the arcades throughout the 1980s up until the modern day shoot 'em ups of today. And I was planning to do something similar with with RPGs, but because there's huge gaps in my RPG knowledge, particularly on the computer side of things. For example, I've never played any of the Ultima games or any of the Wizardry games or Warhammer or anything like that. So when it comes to RPGs, instead what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing another series in which I look at my favourite RPGs of all time. So there's going to be lots of 16-bit, lots of 13-bit games that I'm going to be discussing, but I also want to give special mention as well to the fan translation scene, particularly on the Super Nintendo. It's one of the most overlooked areas of gaming of all time. It always pisses me off when you see certain YouTubers talking smack about emulation or saying it's not real gaming. The work that these guys put in for no pay, they're just doing it for the love of the games, wanting other people to experience these great games. Yet these guys get no love at all. It's a scandal in my opinion, and it's one of the things I will be discussing in these videos. So yeah, don't expect to see them in the next few days. At the moment they're both still in the planning stages, but yeah, the complete history of shoot 'em ups, that's a series I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be doing a whole series looking at some of my favourite RPGs, so look out for them. So thank you for your questions, majority, and keep doing what you're doing, man. I've been enjoying your videos of late. And next up we go to Alex McGee Gameplay, and his first question is, what is your favourite Genesis game? This may well be the most difficult question I've been asked so far, but for many years I always used to say proudly that my favourite Genesis stroke Mega Drive game was always Phantasy Star 4, a brilliant 16-bit RPG. But considering I first played that game back in about 2002, 2003, and since then I have played some fantastic Mega Drive games such as Alien Soldier, such as that great Konami shooter, I forget what it's called, Sparkster, plus Gunstar Heroes, and many others. But you know what? I've actually been thinking on this subject recently, and I'm actually going to surprise all of you now with my choice. But I would have to say, not the best Mega Drive game, but one of my personal favourites would have to be Thunder Force 3. Now I know Thunder Force 4 is technically better, but there's a reason why I picked Thunder Force 3, and that's because I have always played shoot 'em ups, right, gone all the way back to when I first had a Commodore Plus 4. I remember playing a shoot 'em up called Space Freaks that I enjoyed immensely. But again, in my Master System, playing shoot 'em ups like R-Type, playing shoot 'em ups like Sagaya, I enjoyed them. But for me, when I first played Thunder Force 3, that was the first time that I really sat up and took notice of shoot 'em ups as a genre. Playing Thunder Force 3 made me think to myself, you know what, I might just be playing shoot 'em ups until the day I die. After that experience, I got into the PC Engine heavy. I got into shoot 'em ups in a big way. As soon as the 32-bit era rolled around, I was always looking for the next big shoot 'em up. So yeah, for that reason alone, I will say Thunder Force 3 is my favourite Genesis stroke Mega Drive game. Question 2. Although he's listed it as optional, I'll answer it anyway. Do you consider Naruto Dragon Blade Chronicles good? Honestly, I've never played it, so I couldn't tell you whether it's good or not, but I do believe it is a Wii exclusive, or if not Wii, then it's GameCube exclusive. And the reason why I know that is because I went through a mad phase there a few years back where I was buying every anime game I could get hold of, particularly games from the Naruto, One Piece, and even Inuyasha franchises. Luckily, I came to my senses before I had to declare bankruptcy, but yeah, I love anime. I've got quite a large collection of anime titles, from everything from Sailor Moon, 3x3 Eyes, to more recent things like Bleach and what have you. The only reason I haven't done more anime videos on my channel is because I know that a lot of my audience aren't really interested in that sort of thing, but I am planning to do a big anime extravaganza in the near future, and I definitely want to touch upon Naruto as well. I am a big fan of the anime, as well as many others as well, some not so well known, like I've been meaning to do something on Love Hina and a few others like Ramna. But yeah, hopefully in the not too distant future, in the next few uploads, you're going to see some real anime goodness. And lastly, question 3. Do you consider Atlas titles Sega games? Well, seeing as Sega own Atlas lock, stock and barrel, I would have to say yes, very much so. However, that being said, I believe the agreement between Sega and Atlas is one of developer and publisher only, so Sega won't be sticking their oar into future titles. So hopefully future games in the Persona series and what have you will be released unmolested. So, thank you, Alec McGee Gameplay. Hopefully, I've answered your questions to your satisfaction, because next we're going to see some questions from an OG in this YouTube gaming scene, and that is G Minty Fresh, who keeps it simple and just says, congrats, man. You know, before I started making YouTube videos myself all those years ago, I used to follow this man's content and enjoy it very, very much. And now he's subscribed to me, commenting on my channels. I never thought I would see the day. But thank you, G Minty Fresh. Thank you all to people who've commented. We've still got a few more questions to get through, so let's see who's up next. And it's Rage Studios, who quotes a line from my 500 sub announcement video with, "Your girlfriend's bookmarks, laugh my arse off. You just got subbed, just for that comment." Bruv, I got more punchlines than a stick figure boxing club, but because, how can I say this politely, but because I tend to deal with a more mature audience, I tend to rein in a lot of the slang and a lot of the punchlines. But I always try to slip a couple in when people aren't suspecting. But thanks for your comment. Like I say, I don't know half the time whether these jokes or these gags go over people's heads or whether they just straight up don't like them. So thanks for letting me know. And trust me, there's more where that came from. And next up we have a question from Jake Steed, who says, what's your favourite 40 ounce? We don't really have 40 ounces over here in the UK, but if you're talking beers, I've always been partial to a bit of Stella Artois, although the drink itself has quite a bad reputation over here in the UK, where it's often referred to as the wife beater's drink. That being said, I'm probably more partial to spirits anyway. JD's and Coke, man, that's my titular choice. And we come, finally, after all these weeks, we come to the last question. And it's fitting that it should also come from my brethren, the Isolated Gamer. And he says, yo, congrats, man. Thank you very much, Isolated Gamers. Thank you very much, everyone who's asked me questions. This should have been a routine answer video, but unfortunately it's turned into weeks. It's turned into an odyssey, but we've got there in the end. So I can't really cut away to face cam right now as my laptop's starting to play up. So let me just say thank you to everyone. More videos coming soon. I've really enjoyed this. That being said, how would you guys feel that when I finally hit 600, which hopefully will be sometime this year, what would you guys say to me doing like a big live stream where I can interact with you one-on-one or what have you? I'm open to doing another one of these. I don't know. I'll let you guys know as I get closer to that magical 600. So anyway, let me just say thank you guys again. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you've enjoyed watching my answers. Any of you guys had questions, didn't get round to asking them, feel free to ask me some more. I might do a follow-up if a few more questions come in. I don't know. But yeah, this video is going on for quite a while, so I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys again. It's been a lot of fun. I'm Gray. This is Consoletronix. This has been part 3 of my 500 subscribers Q&A answer special. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys soon in my future videos. So, laters.